In the previous video, we talked about top 10 Chiwetel Ejiofor movies. Now you can see the video link at the top of the page. That is why today we are talking about MCU Best Villains. Throughout its 16-year history, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has had multiple villains of all shapes, sizes, colors, and levels of quality. It's only natural and expected that the biggest movie franchise in history has such a wide array of antagonists, all posing formidable threats to the superheroes that fans have grown to love. Indeed, movies like The Avengers and Thor: Ragnarok wouldn't be half as beloved if it weren't for their villains. There are plenty of possible ingredients that can go into the making of a good MCU villain, such as relatable motivations, a cool design, or a great actor at the character's helm. Something that always helps, though, is the scary factor. Throughout its run, the series has had a few villains that are either creepy or just downright unsettling, much to its fortune. These are the most terrifying villains in the MCU, from the beastly Abomination to the unstable Gorr. Starting off our list at number 10 is Helmut Zemo. Though many thought they had what it takes to bring down the Avengers, it took a former Sokovian intelligence officer, acting out of sheer grief, to do the job. After decrypting Hydra files that had been made public, Helmut Zemo realized Earth's mightiest heroes had a hidden pressure point: Bucky Barnes. And Zemo would use Barnes, framing him for a terrorist attack, to create a massive rift between Captain America and Iron Man, one that would play out intensely during Zemo's own endgame: the reveal that Bucky, as the Winter Soldier, had assassinated Tony's parents. Zemo later returned in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series, where he proved to be one of the most interesting characters on the show. And also a secret dancer.
Become yet another faction of gods amongst real people. Super soldiers cannot be allowed to exist.
Coming in at number 9 is Quentin Beck, Mysterio. After Tony Stark's death, as Peter Parker felt the weight of possibly carrying on Iron Man's legacy, a cabal of disgraced and discouraged former Stark Industries employees, headed by illusioneer Quentin Beck, decided to manufacture a new hero from scratch. He would fill the void left by Tony's passing, trick the world into believing they were under attack by multiverse monsters, and generally run circles around everyone using deep fake footage to control the narrative. As Mysterio, Beck never wanted to protect the world, only make people think they were safe while he killed thousands in his quest to inherit Tony's legacy and weapons. Beck's influence would continue to be felt in Spider-Man: No Way Home, as Peter struggled with the fact that the world now knew his secret identity because of the villain.
I trusted you.
I know. That's the most disappointing part.
Next up at number 8 is Ultron. First things first, yes, he monologues. But there's a real joy to seeing the human performance of James Spader beneath the oil and vibranium shell of Tony Stark, and Jarvis, bastard child, an AI who takes all of a few moments to realize that humanity is doomed and that the way to ensure peace on Earth is to, well, kill everyone. With his ability to command armies of fellow androids, and bounce his consciousness around the cloud, he is in every sense an Avengers-level threat. They might see him off fairly quickly in the Avengers sequel. The Age of Ultron actually ends up being the couple of days of Ultron, but he's even more fearsome as the big bad of What If? Season 1, which shows much more of his potential as a nigh-on unstoppable killing machine.
There's only one path to peace. The Avengers' extinction.
At number 7 we have Adrian Toomes, Vulture. After getting stiffed out of a Chitauri cleanup and salvage job by the government, Adrian Toomes decided to put his crew to work as weapons dealers, using the alien tech he recovered to fetch high prices. Soon, Toomes, who himself took to flying around in a winged exosuit and stealing more tech, was living the good life, and nothing was going to prevent him from providing for his family. Not even his daughter's new boyfriend, Peter Parker, who Adrian figured out pretty quickly was the Spider-Man kid that had been causing him a lot of problems. Michael Keaton expertly transforms the comics version of the character into an aggrieved working-class dad who strays into villainy in order to provide for his family in the face of the big corporations that steamroll folks like him.
If I knew who he was, he'd already be dead.
Taking the number 6 spot is John Schmidt, Red Skull. It's easy to call Captain America, the first Avenger, the weakest movie in the Cap trilogy, but as time has gone by, fans have warmed up to it and realized that it's actually much better than they remembered. One of the film's biggest redeeming factors is Hugo Weaving's creepy Red Skull, former head of the Nazis' Special Weapons Division and applicant for the title of Undisputed World Leader. A Nazi with no skin and a red skull is scary enough, but Weaving and director Joe Johnston make the antagonist even more unsettling than he could have been in the hands of a lesser actor-director duo. The character was scary enough before he took off his mask, but the terrifying reveal of his true appearance is among the MCU's eeriest moments. The Red Skull is formidable, highly influential, and almost impossible for Captain America to defeat.
I can do this all day.
Oh, of course you can, of course, but unfortunately I am on a tight schedule.
Alright folks. Listen up. If you are enjoying the content of this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give the video a good old-fashioned thumbs up. Let's show the creators some love. Halfway through our list at number 5 is Green Goblin. Sometimes you don't need a special effect. Sometimes you just need Willem Dafoe. That's something Sam Raimi understood back when he made the original 2002 Spider-Man, and John Watts runs with that potential in No Way Home, delivering a fascinatingly conflicted take on Norman Osborn. You're never quite sure whether it's Norman or the Goblin in control, and Dafoe's features turn on a dime when the time comes to reveal the truth. The moment in which he turns the tables in Happy's apartment, with Peter, in a room full of about-to-be-reformed villains, feeling his spidey senses going haywire, is electrifying. And in killing off Marissa Tomei and May, he once again secures his status as the true architect of all of Peter Parker's pain.
Poor Peter. Too weak to send me home to die.
Coming in at number 4 is Gorr the God Butcher. After the comedic yet epic tone of Ragnarok surprisingly struck a chord with MCU fans worldwide, Love and Thunder tried more of the same but took things to such an extreme that it became one of the franchise's most divisive films. One of the few things about it that really worked, though, was the villain. Gorr the God Butcher, played by Christian Bale at his most unnerving, is a vengeful killer traveling the galaxy in a quest to murder every god in his path. The entirety of Love and Thunder may be counted among the MCU's biggest mistakes, but it can't be faulted for its villain. Bale is probably the best part of the whole movie, clearly finding this villainous role and the unhinged things it allows him to do delectable. Gorr moves between creepy and downright horrifying throughout the runtime, and never does he cease to be a foe to be taken seriously.
The only ones who gods care about is themselves.
Breaking into the top 3 is Hela. At least as far as tonal differences go, the Thor tetralogy is probably the MCU's most peculiar franchise. After the dark-toned flop that was Thor: The Dark World, Marvel went in a different direction with Taika Waititi's fantasy comedy Thor: Ragnarok. There, the villain is Hela, Thor and Loki's estranged sister. After having been imprisoned in Hell for millennia by Odin, she comes back to get revenge and take over her father's throne. MCU fans aren't used to watching their favorite heroes lose. So, as soon as Hela defeated Thor and destroyed Mjolnir right off the bat, viewers knew things were serious with this chilling antagonist. She has one of the most interesting villain motivations in the MCU, as well as some of the franchise's most memorable fight scenes, making her as scary a villain as she is compelling.
Kneel before your queen.
At number 2, we have Loki. Thor's adopted brother, the trickster god Loki, grew up with an immense chip on his shoulder regarding Odin, Thor, and the leadership of Asgard in general. After separate failed attempts to conquer both Asgard and Earth, using an alien horde, and the Mind Stone, lent to him by Thanos in the latter case, Loki began to see the error of his ways after his mother, who he felt was his one true ally, was killed by dark elves. Over the course of the MCU's phases 1 through 3, Loki slowly redeemed himself. Maybe not with the people of Earth, who were probably still touchy about him trying to invade the planet and subjugate them, but with Thor, the brother he grew up resenting. Charismatically arrogant, flippantly cruel, and demonically deceptive, Loki is the reason the Avengers assembled in the first place. Of course, now the Loki Disney Plus series is depicting a variant of the character who seems to be transforming fully from villain to hero. Will it work? Time will tell.
You do know yourself.
A villain.
And finally, taking the #1 spot on our list is Thanos. The threat of Thanos lingered in the background of the MCU for years as the Mad Titan journeyed to find each of the 6 Infinity Stones. What could would this galactic ghoul want with the stones, you might ask? Well, he sought to save life from itself. Knowing firsthand the dangers of overpopulation, waste, and greed, Thanos, and his many lethal children, were determined to cull the universe and eliminate half of all life. As quick as a snap. And he did it. Mercifully, if you ask him, half of all life was erased from the cosmos. It took the Avengers, a time heist, and Doctor Strange's 1 in 14 million outcomes to win the day and return everyone back to existence. But not before our heroes had to face down a past version of Thanos who, thanks to the Avengers meddling with time, now knew erasing half of all life wasn't enough. Thanos was the savage storm on the horizon. The callous calamity that arrived and shattered the entire universe. And it took the full force of Earth, and even those beyond, to take him down, twice. His actions continue to be felt in the MCU to this day.
It nearly killed me. But the work is done. It always will be.
And there you have it, our top 10 MCU villains, each one bringing their unique flavor of chaos and complexity to the table. Who's your favorite? Did we miss anyone? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more awesome content from Cinetherapy. Until next time, stay heroic.